To post this video or to not post this video? That is the question.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at that fish.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sort of a follow-up video to the one I made a couple weeks ago about should I use match grade ammo in the Patriot games. And this video is going to be just your regular standard Winchester white box 5.56 traveling at 33,000 feet per second or so. And it's going to go up against a 77 grain subsonic 5.56. And how much quieter is this 77 grain suppressed compared to 55 grain unsuppressed? Follow along with me. So I've got a target up there just for giggles. I'm going to shoot 5 unsuppressed, and then I'll shoot 5 suppressed. Then I'll shoot 5 unsuppressed, and then 5 suppressed. Got it? We're just seeing how much quieter it is, how much easier it is on the ears. I've been thinking about using this in the Patriot games ever since I did the match grade ammo video. This one's more for sound versus accuracy. I need to get on a 100-yard bay. I'm not on a 100-yard bay. So this one's really just for sound. I'm going to be shooting into some paper on the berm. But how much quieter is this compared to that? So it says 2,700 feet per second on the box here. We're probably going to be going at around 2,300, I would imagine. I've got the Garmin Zero there. I'll get it zeroed. See what I did there? And we'll just listen out. See how it goes. All set up, sort of. I got to take the suppressor off, but I've got 5 rounds of the 5.56 55 grain loaded up. I've got the Garmin ready. I've got a new microphone on the camera, so I'm probably gonna move the camera and try and get the microphone as close as I can to, I'll probably film from right here, so that'll have the closest spot for the microphone. So yeah, we'll just put 5 rounds down range. See how it sounds. Well, I goofed and I totally did not record myself shooting the 55 grain suppressed and unsuppressed from the bench. I'm going to do it a little bit later in the video, but I forgot to do it right then and there. We all know what it sounds like, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to just play some old footage. I looked in the archives. The first one is when I first got this rifle and put it together, I ran a function test and I did not have a suppressor on. I don't even think I had an optic on there. And I was just doing function test, and just to refresh your ears, here you go. And then to roll some footage with some 55 grain suppressed when I was reviewing the Dead Air Sandman S. And now we'll get back to our regular scheduled programming, and I did record the 77 grain. Here we go. Okay, we've got the 77 grain loaded up. This is unsuppressed. We're going to aim at the bottom right 2. Not that you can see it, I'll show you afterwards. So, still loud. I mean, I'm listening through my ears, but it didn't seem as loud as the 55 grain. 5 shots, 24.98 low, 25.28 high. That's a really nice spread. That's a low standard deviation. Average speed is 25.14. That is a 30 foot per second difference with the 77 grain. That's pretty good. So that was Unsuppressed. Let's throw the can back on, load up some more, and shoot it downrange. 77 grain suppressed. I'm going to take out my ears and see how it sounds. Not that I would compete without ears, but I just want to see what the sound is. We're going to go top right. So definitely quieter, but those spreads, 24.77 for a low and 25.55 for a high, 25.23 for the average. So the spreads definitely opened up to about 75, but it was quiet. The shooting wasn't too bad either. Let's go show you that. 55 grain was right there in the middle. 2 sets of 10, or 2 sets of 5. 77 grain, first set was there. 77 grain suppressed was there. Pretty good. I mean, we are only shooting from 25 yards thereabouts, but mainly for sound. But interesting how I was aiming here, unsuppressed, and I was aiming here, suppressed, and my point of impact was much lower, suppressed versus unsuppressed. Just goes to show you. Check your ammo. Was that test augmented by shooting from undercover, under the bench, under the canopy, steel roof, and now we're out in the open. So I've got the 20-round magazine. I've got 5 rounds of the Winchester 5.56 55 grain, 5 rounds of the 77 grain. We're going to shoot that unsuppressed, and then we're going to put the can back on. It's actually cooking in my back pocket right now, and we'll shoot the 55 grain suppressed and then the 77 grain suppressed. So Winchester 55 grain, AAC 77 grain, Winchester 55 grain, AAC 77 grain. All right, so this is 55 grain unsuppressed. It hit the camera lens. All right, so that was 55 grain unsuppressed. This is 77 grain unsuppressed. So, not too bad. I honestly didn't hear a difference in my ears, but I am pretty used to the gunfire. I'm going to take them out. So this is 55 grain suppressed. You can see how the ejection changes also. Definitely quieter, a little crack. And then this is the 77 grain. Oh, I messed up my counting. I must have done it with that first one. Anyway, honestly, I didn't hear a difference between the 55 grain and the 77 grain. Well, I'm back at the house. I had a chance to review all the footage. A bunch of time has passed since I made this video. We had Hurricane Milton in the way, and I thought I was going to edit this video while I was stuck in the hospital. But it wouldn't have made a difference because I would have had to make these little interjections and outro and all that jazz. But I forgot to film the 55 grain suppressed and unsuppressed, but it wouldn't have made a difference. So I pulled in some old footage from the archives. One, when I first got that upper for that competition rifle, that actually had an optic, and then the suppressed had a different optic, and then this last couple shots had a different optic. That's how many optics I've gone through on that competition rifle to find the right one, but that's besides the point. The unsuppressed 55 grain, when I was doing the function test, was super loud. And then the suppressed 55 grain, when I was testing the Sandman, or doing a review on the Sandman S, sounded different. Now, since then, I've gotten a new microphone because the old one, I was having a lot of issues and I was losing audio and losing footage because the sound was completely corrupted. I got a new microphone, and the microphone is actually too good. And it actually acts as hearing protection. When those loud cracks go on, it actually muffles it. I know I just said actually a lot, but it doesn't sound like that in real life. So the cracks of the unsuppressed were very loud, but it was mitigated by the microphone. And you have to look at the original footage compared to the last bit of footage for an actual representation of the difference in the sound. And I'll do that again right now. Going from one extreme to the other, 55 grain unsuppressed to 77 grain suppressed, it was a world of difference. It was about 500 feet per second slower, and the recoil was mitigated. My point of impact was a lot different, but that's something you can adjust in your zero if you're going to use a suppressor all the time. And I think after making this video, even though the sound was kind of augmented a little bit because of the microphone and shooting from undercover and whatnot, I'm still going to use the 77 grain ammo in competition. And I'll let you know a little secret, a little something that's coming on. A suppressor company reached out to me and asked me to use their suppressor in competition. So once I get that, I've got to go through the proper channels and background checks, etc., etc. I'm going to be using their suppressor in competition in the Patriot games. As something that we talked about on the phone. I'm going to be competing with the 77 grain suppressed for the foreseeable future, and we'll see how it goes. So even though the test didn't really work out well, from the main extreme of 55 grain unsuppressed to 77 grain suppressed, it's a world of difference. And yes, match ammo suppressed is the way to go for the competitions that I do. That was a mouthful, but I think I drew a conclusion. Even though the video was a little messed up, I still wanted to post it. And let me know what you think down below. That's going to do it for this one. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next video.